Music videos are an unusual art form. It's to no one's surprise that they sorta act as a complementary piece to the medium that works fine on its own. Many argue that music can work without the music video completely, often saying that visuals can limit the viewer's experience. How I see it, most of the time an artist makes an attempt to force you to see a song in a specific light, as it could mean something completely different off camera in your own mind. Well, most of the time. Hoshimachi Suisei's most popular song, Bibi Deba, is a powerful example of a music video adding more to my experience than often narrowing it. In the VTubing atmosphere, music video creation always came across as a collective vision between artists, and it had me thinking, what is the correct amount of effort to maintain that balance between the artist's vision and the freedom for listeners to express their own ideals onto the work? Watching Bibi Deba, I feel like the answer stems from having proper collaboration. Suisei is known for a lot of things. She occupies a space within the Japanese music industry that was built on sheer determination. She clawed her way to the top after many trials and tribulations and is now celebrated for her music with refined quality and integrity. One of the things less talked about with Suisei is her ability to seamlessly find good talent to work with, whether it be finding the right composers, actors, or animation crew. Of course, all these roles are a prerequisite in order to create a good music video, and Suisei's role as a key piece in the Japanese music industry is to sorta act as a film director who acts on their own film. Most of the time, she controls the lyrical writing and how it's delivered herself. However, her intention with Bibi Deba was to allow her crew to make everything and have her to be just a mere performer in the act. It was up to her to find the right crew according to their strengths and challenge their own creativity in the process. And what you get is a music video that effortlessly upholds her ideals while providing leniency to the listeners. It's this kind of skill that makes Suisei's music videos like Bibi Deba so strong and memorable. To understand the music video, you have to understand the collaborators. In this case, there are three. The first is the technicals. Sumiki, a music guru most known in the Vocalite scene, was the brain of the operations, as he was credited for making the lyrics, composition, and arranging on how the music sounds and feels. Bibi Deba is very reminiscent of Sumiki's other work, in particular the song Sayonara Maybe, that contains lyrical parallels of the desire to escape that feeling of hopelessness, which feels very reflective of a time in Suisei's life that she had to endure to be where she's at today. Interested in Suisei's work, Sumiki incorporated the technique of vocal chopping, in which you can take a certain phrase, break it apart, and make it sound something musically clear to the ears. That's why in the beginning of the song, you can hear Suisei's voice masterfully blended in the background before the real lyrics come up front.
Voice sample.
彗星のごとく現れたスターの原石、アイドル VTuber の星町彗星です。スイちゃんは今日も可愛い。
Cut out.
スイスポットしたスティーブアイドル原石でね。スイちゃんは
Effect.
アイドル VTuber のアイドル VTuber
Actors play a large part as well, because for me at least, one of the things that draws my attention the most is the choreography. It's to no one's surprise that Suisei values how dance showcases her vocal talent, so she hired actress Shimura Chiharu to play as her in order to make her choreographic ideas become a reality. And this is where the animation comes to question. As if Shimura Chiharu is Suisei herself, what is the trick behind such fluid motion? One thing Suisei was sure about was that in the hololive industry, although not a necessary component, the direction of the animation can certainly elevate your work, especially in an industry where top quality work was very few and far in between back in the day. Suisei hired a team of animators that didn't shy away from using the idea of rotoscoping, a term coined by Max Fleischer after he realized that animation at the time was too stiff and needed movement to feel more human. With the help of a real person, in this case our actress, the animation department meticulously drew over the real movement, while also paying close attention to the timing and how things are spaced out to ensure that the characters feel more grounded. And what you're left with are characters animated with such precision, it almost feels like everyone's artistic goals were completely in sync with each other. What Suisei probably envisioned the end result to be at the beginning of the project was elevated thanks to the animation crew who went above and beyond. I'm not a big fan of music videos, but the way Hoshimachi Suisei brings some of the greatest minds of composers, dancers, and artists to fulfill a single assignment and find a collective understanding can often result in works like Bibi Diba to surface that almost feels like a poem than a loose attachment to the lyrics themselves. Here, we get to see what Suisei was thinking, a project where everything was up to the discretion of the artists themselves and leaves everything on the table for the listener to decide if the song is good or not.